In the last 8 months, Atlanta alone, have reported 20,000 HIV cases. I don't know how many times I can say this, but I'm going to say it every day if I have to. You need to keep your legs closed. I don't know what the hell is going on, but sex is not one of them things that you need to be doing. It's not worth dying for. And I don't care how good the medication is now. I don't care that it is now not a automatic death sentence like that as it used to be. I don't care. Keep your legs closed. 20,000 cases in the last 8 months in Atlanta. Is it worth? I wish I would even go visit down there. It is not going to happen. And unfortunately, I know some people that have contracted it. To be truthfully honest with you, all of them happen to be men. It's not worth your life. Protect yourself. Leave it alone. Go get tested together. Know your status. Take PrEP.
You got to really let that sink in. 20,000 new cases in the past 8 months. 20,000. Not 200, not 2,000, 20,000. I mean, again, 2025 going into 2026. Again, when you meet someone new or even someone that you've been with for a while, we got to start asking for people's my charts. I'm gonna tell you right now, if a person does not have the my chart app on their phone, that should be an automatic red flag and an automatic disqualification for any type of physical relationship. This is not a game. Again, I know you see the commercials and they talk about how they have the medication that can control this stuff, and it's not really a death sentence as maybe 20 years ago. But let's keep it 100. 99.999% of us don't have Magic Johnson money. If you have magic money, it may be some secret formula they may have for you. You probably good. YOLO. But if you do not have Magic Johnson money, listen to me. If you do not have Magic Johnson money, you need to be asking for my charts. You need to be getting tested regularly. This is a real thing. This is really going to affect your everyday life, especially for the average everyday person that does not have access to exclusive, rare or top secret medications. Know who you're dealing with. Take the time to get to know the person before you jump into bed with a person. Because again, you can't just look at a person and determine if they have HIV. They could look healthy, they could look well. And again, a lot of people. I actually did a video about a gentleman who he met a woman online on a dating site, then he moved to Houston and she knowingly gave this man HIV. She knew the whole time she was positive and never said anything. A lot of people are very sinister. The laws are very lax. Again, a lot of states, you don't even have to disclose that you have HIV to a person. So you have to be very, very careful and get to know the individual you're talking about. In the next clip, we actually have an individual who works in a clinic in Atlanta, and this is what she has to say.
So I became certified at my new job for something with a higher title and pay. Now, my goal was to be in another state for this job that I really wanted, but I had to. How I moved to Atlanta for a job and immediately became celibate after working in a clinic there. So I became certified at my new job for something with a higher title and pay. Now, my goal was to be in another state for this job that I really wanted, but I had to go to Atlanta for 6 months to train. My first day on the job was not busy. It was steady, but nothing terrible. The next day, it was a lot of WIC patients, so it was busy. Then my third day, it was busy. So many men and women coming in, getting tested for everything. And most of them was either married or gay. And also, they wasn't even from Atlanta. They had just moved there. I want to say that. They literally was not even from Atlanta. They had relocated to Atlanta. So my trainer was the one who they came in to get their test results from. And I kid you not, I hadn't been there 2 weeks. She had told over 200 people they were positive for HIV. They kept a chart and a rough count, which was over 10,000 cases when I was there so far this year. Some were crying, mad. We even had to call the police because they would tear up the room from being so upset. And some, it was like they already knew, they just needed to confirm it. And had already been showing signs of having it. Some were sad because they were as young as 13. I mean, some 13-year-old girls was coming in there finding out they had HIV. I told myself, I will not date while I'm here, and I had ran into some very handsome men, but nope, I knew what I knew. I did my training, I stayed single, and got up out of there because Atlanta, y'all, it can't be a real place.
Mm. See, I think the issue you have, especially with Atlanta and Houston, they have been very popular over the past, 15 years or so. A lot of people, especially first initially started off with everyone wanting to move to Atlanta, Black Mecca, Black success. So you had a lot of Black people moving down there. And now Houston is kind of like the new Atlanta. So you have a lot of transient people that are, not from these places, Atlanta or Houston, and they're bringing all types of diseases. And I think it's kind of giving these cities a bad rap. I think it's, you have a lot of people from outside of Atlanta and Houston that are coming here. Again, they're not being tested. Sadly, you have a lot of brothers on the down low who don't want to, live in their truth, which I don't understand. If you want to, be with another man, cool, do you, but don't be in a situation where you're married or you have a girlfriend and you live in a double life, and then now you accidentally catch something, and now you have an innocent person who's getting jammed up in something because you couldn't be real with yourself and wanted to stay on the down low. It's very, very real out here. And again, you have to know who you are getting with. I mean, this woman says she worked in the clinic, so she had firsthand experience on what's going on. And in the first 2 weeks of her being at this clinic, over 200 new cases. And like you said, a lot of people already knew. They already knew something wasn't right. They already knew they had signs and symptoms. You know your body, you know when something's off. You could do a quick Google search and see some of the signs and symptoms if you may be positive for HIV. And these people probably were still sexually active, probably having unprotected sex. So who knows who else they infected during this period where they were too scared to go and get actually tested. Again, you have to be very, very mindful of what's going on, and do not be afraid to ask people when the last time to be tested, because at the end of the day, if you catch this thing, you're going to have to deal with the day-to-day medication regimen. And then just, it's a negative stigma that comes along with having HIV. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.